1991, a movie came out that prepped a young adult for the corporate world, childcare, and emotional maturity. And, oh yeah, a babysitter died. I'm right on top of that, Adrian. Did you ever see?
Don't tell mom the babysitter's dead.
I'm getting rid of her for 2 whole months. I can go to the beach. I can stay out as late as I want. I can do anything. I'm a free woman.
Hi. Hello to you. I'm Mrs. Jurek. I'm a babysitter.
What?
All right, you little maggots, now line up.
Are you serious?
I'll make your summer a living hell.
Ow! Hey!
TV rots your brain.
It's time we let her know the rules.
Yeah, we outnumber her.
Starek? Oh my God. She died in her sleep.
They'll probably blame us.
What? How's my baby?
In your dreams, babe.
Oh, how you doing, Mom? No, Mrs. Durak's not here. She went to the yarn store.
So, what do you guys want for breakfast?
Cheese omelet. SpaghettiOs.
Breakfast is served. Mow the lawn today, and don't forget to do the dishes, okay?
Dishes are done, man.
All right, this is our fourth installment, our final installment of our Did You Ever See series. This was my pick. We chose the 1991 classic, Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. This is a movie that is near and dear to me. However, you probably had never seen this movie, I'm guessing, correct?
Now, why would you say that? Why would you just
Well,
assume?
you're younger
right.
than me. So
You're right. I haven't seen it. This is my first time watching it.
Had you heard of this movie?
Geez, you know what? I don't think I have. No. I'll be honest with you now.
So when I told you this was one of my favorite Did You Ever See movies, what are the thoughts in your head when you're like, what is this movie? And you have to go watch it.
I figured it was like one of those, similar to, what's the name of that Bill Murray movie with the someone dead?
Death to Smooching?
Something like that. Damn,
Yeah.
I don't even think that's a movie. But
I don't even know if he's in
way.
that movie, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm thinking of a different movie. But yeah, just having to just uphold this grand lie, and then it would, so I got the gist of the movie just based on the title.
So we both rewatched the movie, and like I said, we're picking movies that aren't blockbuster, aren't necessarily cult favorites that Did You Ever See. To me, this is the best Did You Ever See, because it's one of those movies where if you throw out the line, I'm right on top of that, Rose, someone will know what you're talking about in the room. If you throw out the line, the dishes are done, man, somebody will know what you're talking about in the room. So that's why I think it's a great rewatchable movie. And like, as far as I'm concerned, like I didn't see this movie till way later.
Yeah.
When it's not like I even rented it. A friend of mine who was a girl, she was the one who's like, oh, you got to see this movie. So it took a couple layers for this movie to even make it to me. I'd seen the front of it in Blockbuster Video for going on 5 years plus. And then I finally watch it and then find it completely enjoyable, completely fun of a movie, not without plot holes, which is maybe my favorite part of it. But
yeah,
when you rewatch this movie, what jumps out at you when you rewatched it, which ironically was for the first time?
Definitely a girl's movie for sure. Not surprised that a girl, referred the movie to you.
Mm-hmm.
What popped out at me? I mean, holy smokies. Yeah, the part that I like, they kind of use the babysitter like as almost like as a device. Like it's almost glossed over that whole babysitter dying.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's so brief, and it catapults like the rest of all their mischief, all their misdoings.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost like an afterthought, like throughout the movie.
It can be described as a dark comedy, but the death part of the babysitter happens pretty quick. and then we're
Yeah.
off into the main plot of the movie as well. But that babysitter dying part this movie could have went a dark way if it wanted to, with the death of the babysitter, which I thought was pretty funny. And then we're just off and running. I could have used a little bit more time with the babysitter, to be honest. Like when the mom leaves and she blows the whistle and she's like all yelling at the kids, I could have used like a full day where the babysitter's like really making the kids do hard labor and stuff, because the babysitter dies
Yeah.
the first night. So they really didn't have
Yeah.
to deal with that much.
They didn't have any fun with that sort of I mean, it's the title of the movie. They had no fun with the babysitter. The babysitter was there for a night, croaks. They get rid of the body in one of the most puzzling ways. I didn't even drop it off like at a hospital. They dropped the body off at a morgue, and then like the morgue people are just like it's almost like that happens like every day. Like, oh, another dead broad.
Right.
Like no, didn't even think to call the cops. And I'm talking about the people at the morgue too. The kids didn't call the cops. Such a morally bankrupt opening of a movie. I mean, but I expect nothing less.
There's about 8 things you glossed over there that I'm going to hit in plot holes because spoiler alert, most of the plot holes in this have to do with potential homicide or I don't know what exactly the ruling is on it, but something needed to be done. Did this babysitter have family? Was there any next of kin to notify that this poor babysitter was dead? I don't know if we got an age of the babysitter ever, but she had to be well into her 90s, it looked like.
Yeah. Most of I have a bevy of plot holes, and most of them surround the disappearance of the babysitter.
Rewatching this movie, there's 3 big things that jump out at me. Number 1, it's the concept of the movie. The concept of a teenager being thrust into the adult world, I think, is a tried and true theme that works in movies. But then as I rewatch the movie, I feel like every single trope is hit in this movie. Like, here's all the ones that I wrote down. The teenagers having the house to themselves. Like, we all know that feeling where, like, you wanted the house to yourself. That's a big movie trope.
Yeah.
Trying to get the low-end job, but falling ass backwards into the high-end job. That's a movie trope that's been done 100 times as well. Getting in way over your head to throw a party. Other movie trope. And then the last one is the easiest one, learning that it's actually hard to be an adult. All the movie tropes are in this one movie. It's all in there. It's perfect.
Yep.
Which obviously makes it why it's a fun teenager movie, because we got this adult world that the teenager has to navigate.
And it's funny. I watched the movie. Obviously, I'm in my 30s, so I didn't see the movie through the prism of a child. So like the entire movie, I had like the same sort of like tension that I would have had like had I been watching like Uncut Gems. Like I just know it's all gonna end horribly for poor old Sue. It was like, if anything, it was like a tense movie for me. So I was like, man, the jig is up, sweetie.
Right. It doesn't have
the piper.
It doesn't have that. It doesn't have any like near misses, like where she almost gets found out. She really doesn't get found out to like the very end. It's not like you worry about her getting found out at all. And I mean, part of it is because of the Rose character, which I think grounds the movie somehow, some way. Like, she's really likable, the boss. Like, you root for her. Like, I remember getting bummed out when finding out the fashion company was going to go bankrupt or going under, and she's eating a jar of M&Ms just by herself.
Oh, yeah.
That part of it, I think, works well for it. It's weird that all these ingredients go into the movie, because this movie can go wrong 10 different ways. If the Christina Applegate character is not right or bitchy or something, this movie sucks. If Kenny, the brother, is dumb or like you don't believe that they can play the husband-wife thing, this movie stinks. If the boss stinks, like there's a lot of ways this movie could like really have been forgotten. But I mean, the biggest concept of the movie, the biggest thing here, I think, is this is Christina Applegate's movie. And I can't help but watch this movie and wonder why she didn't be a bigger star.
Yeah. I kept thinking throughout the movie, I was like, she could have totally been like Jennifer Aniston. She had like the potential to be sort of like America's sweetheart, so to
Yeah,
speak.
what are your comps to Christina Applegate? Because I tried long and hard to think about this, and it to me it's everything. It's Julia Roberts, it's Jennifer Aniston. It's I almost feel like Cameron Diaz tried to market correct her at some point in the '90s, because she
Yeah.
could have done easily all of Cameron Diaz's roles. Um,
Yeah.
and then she was on TV. She was on Friends for multiple episodes. And when she pops up in Anchorman, it's almost like America forgot, oh yeah, Christina Applegate's good.
Yeah. 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 Like I said, like I could see her like having blossomed into a Jennifer Aniston type.
Yeah.
I
The
guess
other,
she just got beat out, I guess, huh?
I don't know. Well, that's my question because I'm looking at her filmography, and after this movie, she's not really in anything. There's
Yeah.
did she miss out on parts? Did she not go out for parts? She's still doing Married with Children at
Yeah.
the time,
Maybe
but
she didn't want to audition.
maybe she
I'm
didn't want
not
to.
gonna audition.
Maybe not, but I can't help but think roles were coming her way. And
Yeah, exactly.
if we think of the women in that era, that early '90s, it's Julia Roberts, Nicole Kidman, Jennifer Aniston hasn't broke yet, but she's in there. Courtney Cox. She easily could have snagged a couple of these roles
Yeah.
over the years too. And then when we get to the notes of it, the other one is Winona Ryder. She could have been. She could have been in.
Yeah.
Can you see Christina Applegate's in Reality Bites? Very easily.
Yeah.
Totally. And
Yeah.
I was like, why can't we see her in a drama? Why can't we see her in Leaving Las Vegas? Why can't she play the Elizabeth Shue role? I think
Yeah.
she could have done all this. She's so talented in this movie. Because if you don't like Sue Ellen in this movie is annoying.
Hmm.
I always
Yeah,
hate it.
I thought I was gonna be annoyed by her, and no, actually, I was like, damn. She not only like did she do a good job, like she's also like very charming.
Yeah, her even down to her outfits. Like I'm watching this movie with a close eye on her outfits. Her outfits are ridiculous in this movie.
Yeah,
She's wearing huge
yeah,
jackets, and
her
somehow she
yeah.
pulls it off. She still looks hot in every single outfit.
her
And it's a weird time too, where this isn't an '80s movie, but
no,
it's not a '90s movie either. We're
yeah,
1991.
exactly.
It's in this no man's land, and somehow she
Uh-huh.
pulls it off. Even with the hair, she looks timeless. Her hair doesn't look dated. Her clothes look silly, but they don't throw you off because I always hate it when a movie writes dialogue for a teenager outsmarting the adults, and it never works for me. When like a kid has
Yeah,
all the snarky lines to adults, I'm like that wouldn't happen. The kid wouldn't say that. This she
right.
pulls off everything. You really get the feeling that she's a teenager up to her neck in this water, and she's kind of navigating it. It completely works, and it bums me out that she wasn't in more stuff.
Yeah. Well, the one of my favorite scenes. Well, I shouldn't say. Well, it's like the opening scene, like where their mother is like kind of giving them like the ground rules, like what's going to go
Mm.
down when she leaves for Australia, and Christina Applegate's like sitting like on a sort of sunbathing chair slash bench
Right, smoking.
with a so, yeah, that's what I was gonna allude to. So like in a red dress, green boots, and as her mother is saying, "You're still a minor," just the like a half lit cigarette in her hand. It was just like different time, different place.
There's
17-year-old just lighting up cigs. Take me
Right,
back,
that's
baby.
true. She's a good cigarette smoker. I looked it up. She's 20 years old when she does this movie. She's playing a 17-year-old in it.
Yeah,
Um, the character, or before I get to the characters, the other thing I noticed in this movie is so formulaic. Like, there's nothing different about this movie as far as the concept. Like, they got the house to themselves. They run out of money. They got to get the job. The job stinks, and they get this job. Then she's in overhead. She's balancing the boyfriend. That's it. There's nothing different about this movie, really. It's just a
yeah,
fun ride. And I think, like, with these movies, you're like, what's so great about this movie? It's like, there's nothing great about it, but it's completely enjoyable. Like, go on the ride, you're gonna like it.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's an enjoyable movie. Maybe one and done for me. Maybe at least I can say, hey, like if I'm ever prompted, yeah, I saw. Don't tell mom the babysitter is dead.
These don't have like any category space in our show, but I want to hit them before we go on. There's two characters that I think need talking about. Number one is Sue Ellen's mom. I'm going to ask it right now. Is this the worst mom? She
Yeah,
leaves 5 children with a babysitter they've never met that day. This is obviously a broken woman. The house is a wreck.
mm,
She's going to Australia with a second husband. She doesn't seem to care really about the kids in general.
kids. Right. Probably some residual hatred spilling over to those kids from her first marriage.
Were those all like what's the deal with the kids? Were these kids all from the same
Those kids are
dad?
fucked up, dude. Those kids are so fucked.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
they're definitely all because they're all even. I think the youngest is like,
the youngest is
mm,
Walter, who's maybe 7.
I think one of the youngest is like, well, we can blackmail dad for money because we remember they go broke. They're broke
Mhm.
at one point. We can just blackmail dad, so they're all the same.
Yeah, the idea of calling their father never really enters their minds at all. So there's obviously some issues with the dad in
Yeah,
this movie because the kids are like, let's just do the ages. Sue Ellen is 17, so we're assuming Kenny, the brother, is 16, like maybe a year younger.
so, yeah.
Um, then you got the little kids. You have Zach, you have Melissa, and the youngest Walter. Zach and Walter both steal money from the mom and Sue Ellen at some point in this movie.
Uh-huh.
the little
Hundreds.
the little girl won't even hug her mom goodbye. Like, these are horrible children. This is terrible. So the
Hey, but
children
that's learned
themselves.
behavior. That's learned behavior, though.
Hmm.
Don't blame the kids, but hey, I'm team. I'm team. Don't blame the kids.
I'm not
Blame the
blaming the kids. I'm
parents.
saying they're just bad kids. I can
Oh
say
yeah.
I'm saying they're bad kids. How they became that way, I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly. The one kid, Walter, I like how he's just wearing pajamas all day long.
Yeah.
Just total summer mode. I just wear my pajamas all day
Walter's
long.
the youngest, right?
Yeah, he breaks his
The
leg.
TV fanatic.
Yes.
I love that kid. That kid's like my favorite. Like he's not my MVP, but definitely love that kid. Why don't you go outside? He's just like, no prizes, no trivia. He's
Yeah,
all
no
into
TV outside.
yeah,
Right.
completely bankrupts the family with that TV setup at the end.
2 other points. Lying on your resume. The timeless art of lying on your resume. Get Sue Ellen the job. And then lastly, I don't know if you noticed this, 2 real subtle shots at the College of Vassar. Did you catch that? Where she writes on
No.
her, where Rose is looking over
Oh
Sue
yeah.
Ellen's resume, and she's like, "You'll get it. You know, you're a Vassar gal." And Christina Applegate looks at the resume almost like she's disappointed she wrote that on there.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then
yeah.
and at the end where she's busted, and then Rose says like, "Are you sure you
Can
won't
get
take
you
me up
in.
on the job?" And she's like, "No, I'm going to school." And she's like, "Well, if you ever want to get into Vassar."
Yeah. Is that like a beauty school or something? Or is that
No,
an
it's a
actual college?
college, but I think it's just sort of like a running joke that it's an easy college or easy to get into. So Vassar
You need a
catching stray
pulse.
bullets
Jeez.
in this movie.
Sorry, guys. No offense to
Sorry,
anyone that graduated from Vassar.
sorry, Vassar. Sorry about that one. Um, Stats of the movie. Released June 7th, 1991. Runtime of 102 minutes. The budget was 10 million. It grossed at the box office 25.1 million. Directed by Stephen Herrick. He also directed Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure and Mighty Ducks.
Oh, you see
On
that?
Yeah, I see it now. When you hear these list of movies that he's done, like there's a lot of Bill and Ted in this movie, especially with the Kenny character in it, and then the Mighty Ducks with the group of kids that got to get it together. Rotten Tomatoes 35% with the critics, 57% with the audience, which I think makes perfect sense. Critics can't like this movie, and audience little soft spot.
Hey, put together, it's almost 92%.
Yeah, put them together, add them up, average it
Yeah.
out. Fun
Fuck.
facts. The writers of this movie were inspired by the movie Risky Business, which makes total sense. Also, remember what came out this year was Home Alone. So the idea of having
Oh,
the house to yourself was very big in 91.
damn. What a coincidence. Or is it? Or is it?
And Winona Ryder was initially envisioned for the lead role of this movie. What do you think this movie's like with Winona Ryder?
Whinier. A
You think
lot
it
more
works?
whining. Geez, I don't know. I wouldn't she look too young? Because at least Christina Applegate looks like she pulls off 23 or however old she says she is. But I
Right.
don't know. Winona Ryder always looks like she's 14.
She looked really young in Mr. Deeds, and that was in what, 1999?
Yeah,
So
like
they would have had to have
2004.
changed the job she got to something else.
Yeah,
It couldn't have been corporate
yeah.
because she looks like a child. But yeah, it
She
would be
would have had to
it
have
couldn't have
been
been
older.
fashion either.
No, yeah. Oh God, no.
I'd like to see it though. I'll tell you right now, I'd love to see Winona Ryder in this role.
Hmm.
Other fun fact, Jennifer Love Hewitt was originally cast as the Melissa character, but Disney would not release her from the television show she was in at the time. The original title of this movie was called The Real World. And due to a conflict with MTV's The Real World, they had to change the name. And finally, Roger Ebert says a consummate escapist fantasy for teenage girls. 2 out of 4 stars.
Oh man.
He could have
Yeah,
been harder
that's
on this movie if he wanted to. Let's be honest.
2 out of 4. Yeah.
That being said,
That's
with this
pretty. Yeah.
movie, I don't feel there's any like lagging spots in this whole movie. Like, there's not a spot where I'm like, all right, I know this part's coming up, I'll skip it. It's pretty
Huh.
tight, 102 minutes.
That's one of my criticisms. I thought it was, but you know what? If it's shorter, it's shittier. So they did need like everything in that movie, albeit I mean it's not the best of movies, not even close to the best of movies, but yeah, it did need every scene, and I don't really know where they could have trimmed anything. Um, yeah, I mean I could be harsher, but I will, just
Yeah,
because.
I was gonna say maybe trim that part where Gus takes Sue Ellen to lunch.
Oh,
But
that's so funny that you
but
bring
we
that up.
but we
That's
kind of need that because they got to bust him
yeah,
with it later. Maybe some of the David Duchovny stuff could have been, but I don't feel like there's anything I don't enjoy in this movie. It's all pretty funny. We
yeah,
haven't talked about David Duchovny yet and his hair.
no, yeah,
He's in
and
this movie
then
too.
and he's dating the receptionist, right?
Right. He's dating. I forgot her name, but she's really
Carolyn.
annoying. Oh, what movie were we talking about? Where we were talking about someone was just a bitch. Maybe it was Parker Posey. We are talking
Yeah.
about she's such a bitch. But that actress, I forgot her name, but she was like the 80s go-to bitch. Like
Huh.
every like TV show, like she was the angry bitchy girl. I don't know her name, but she was in a lot of stuff in that late
Yeah.
80s, early 90s, and then vice versa. There was an actor, and he was always the go-to 80s dick, you know?
Huh.
And there was a
Yeah.
1990s dick, where they were just a
Yeah.
jerk, and they were in every single movie in there. So
Jane Brooke is her name, or the actor's
yeah,
name.
they'll look her up, see what else she was in. But I remember seeing her in just as soon as she entered the scene, I'm like, oh, she's gonna be trouble.
Yeah, I know, especially since like she's the first person that she has to interface with at this sham of a job that she's applying to.
Right. She gives her the business with going down to personnel.
Oh man.
Couple thoughts on this. Did you catch the mom's age?
37?
37. She looked like she was 65.
She looked like she was at least mid to late 40s.
At the
least.
youngest. Yeah. I know it's 1991, but geez, she did not look 37. If she's 37, hold on, let me
Pumping
do
out kids, man.
some quick math. She had Sue Ellen when she was 20.
20. Yeah.
Yeah. So this mom needed to, like, not only did she need a vacation, she needed to get out of the country.
What a dumpster. What a jizz dumpster that mom is, huh? Just
Yeah.
5 kids right off rip.
From 20 to
See ya.
37, she had 5 children, lived in a dump of a house in LA,
I
and then
know, like
and then left the country.
hiring a babysitter. Why don't you hire a fucking maid, lady?
Yeah.
Place is a goddamn pigsty.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like there was a lot going on there. We could have made this movie dark if we dove into the
Mm-hmm.
mom relationship. And then also, that being said, I'll just bring it up right now. I think we could have done a whole movie on Rose.
Yeah.
A Better Call Saul type of prequel or post. Like, I want to know
Yeah.
more about Rose. How'd she get this job? What's her background? What's going on with
Um,
Rose? I loved her character.
what sort of child labor laws is she exploiting?
Right.
What sort of corners is she cutting to fucking make ends? Yeah, because they're remember, and then also when she gets the notice that they're gonna be like shut down, it's like not a done deal, and she's like already like packing her stuff, like hey,
Eating
hold on,
M&Ms
it's,
out of
yeah,
a
it's like
jar.
hey, it ain't for sure yet. Like, calm down. She has to like fucking Sue Ellen has to talk her down almost.
Right. The students rioted.
Yeah, well, that whole idea totally backfired.
I got a couple questions. First off, let's start with the house. The house is in LA. There's a couple spots where you can see the address of the house, so I looked it up. I'm like, where exactly is this house? Because it looks like it's on a ranch. There's a huge yard. They don't have neighbors. I looked it up. The area code is 90042, 201 Bent Road. So I looked it up. That's in Highland Park, which is not that far from Eagle Rock, California, if you know your geography. There's no yards there. Highland Park is almost in a mountain. So I
Yeah.
think they took some liberties with that, because I was going to guess this is out somewhere in the West Valley, somewhere
Uh-huh.
where it's west of LA.
Oh, so
So
you're saying that address is like completely fraudulent?
I don't think it makes sense. Yeah, if you know
Oh,
LA,
okay.
you would say, like, there's no way that big a house, that rundown of a house, has that big a yard in that
Yeah,
part of
that's a
town.
massive piece
No
of
neighbors.
land. Yeah, huh?
Right.
No neighbors.
No
I almost
neighbors.
thought it was like I thought the movie was based in like the Midwest or something based on that house, but then I started to see those old school blue LA license plates.
Hmm.
I was like, oh shit,
Yeah, they
where
really
they
don't do
live.
a lot with the LA location. It's not like they mention LA spots or anything like that. They say the beach, but besides a couple of exterior shots of what we guess is the West Coast, like, that's about it. That's about
Yeah,
all we know. I feel like they could have thrown in LA stuff to this movie to give it an
yeah,
extra little bit.
yeah.
Uh
They have that one kiss scene underneath, like it's like like underneath, like almost like the Santa Monica Bridge. It looks like or some shit.
yeah. Where did you stand on Brian's idea of that first date? Go to the beach and watch the fish lay eggs? Was that a good date idea?
I mean, there's no chance that they lasted more than like a month after that. Am I right? Like, well, what a
Oh, that's a good
horrible.
question. Yeah, how long did they last? Brian and Sue Ellen
What a,
after they find out everything. Do you think they make it through the summer?
all right. I'll respect your privacy if you weren't so secretive.
I think they make it through the summer, and then they're going to be seniors, right? So
No,
no. Sue Ellen
they're already going
graduated.
to. Yeah.
Sue Ellen graduated, and Brian, I guess, had graduated too, because he talked about going to
Yeah.
college. Okay,
Uh-huh.
so I'm gonna say they make it. I'm gonna say they make it a year.
Damn. And then I don't even think they're gonna go to the same college. I'd say
Right.
it's
That's where they
done.
break up. They spend a year. Sue Ellen gets into Vassar. Brian goes to, where
Yeah.
does he say, UCSD or something, and then the
Yeah, because
distance
he.
is too much.
Yeah. Bye.
And also, someone of Sue Ellen's hotness goes to college. Forget about it. She's snagged up pretty quickly by somebody.
Oh yeah, exactly. She's not gonna
Hmm.
be fucking dating some fucking dork that works at a hot dog shop.
Right. I that
He
was her
drives a
first,
hot dog truck.
the hot dog, clown dog.
Yeah.
Do you think Sue Ellen should have quit that job? Quit it, clown dog? Because they're like, okay, it's a shitty job, but she's already into Brian. She could have worked there all
Uh-huh.
summer and like gotten to hang out with Brian, and maybe she'd make minimum wage, but they could have pulled this off. They could have pulled off the summer.
Yeah, because you know what? She would have been working for minimum wage, and her fucking brothers and sisters still would have spent a bar of money. So she needed
Yeah.
that huge lump sum, that box of
Yeah.
petty cash that
Which
they
didn't
burned
last
through.
anyway. They blew it all and
Nope.
stole it all.
I mean, even like for the early '90s to blow through 3 grand in a couple of months, that's like that takes effort.
Mm-hmm. 5 kids. Well, I mean, you saw Walter bought the home entertainment system.
That had to have been like at least, what do you think? Like maybe back in the early
Couple
'90s,
grand.
like 900. You think a couple?
But it was a lot of speakers. There's a lot of equalizers there.
And then like the TV took up like about like a tenth of like that space. So
The
lots
TV
of
was not big. That's true.
no, yeah, it's like lots of equipment and like empty cassettes. Very weird that they needed to. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe like $800, huh?
Well, Sue Ellen gets the job at the fashion office. She's making 37.5 a year, which sounded pretty good for 1991.
Yeah.
Then they have Bruce, who is David Duchovny's character. His title was head inventory clerk. You know what? I see a little pre-Duchovny X-Files Agent Mulder here, because he was investigating. He's like, something's not right here. We gotta find. We gotta get the bottom out of here. The truth is out there. So maybe this was a precursor to Duchovny getting on X-Files.
I like how his introduction is like he's just so uh, rude to Sue Ellen, like hey, and then like right when she kind of puts him in his place, his recourse is to find out like how she was hired and ultimately trying to get her fired,
Right.
just because she was like just because he didn't get what he wanted like in the time that he needed, like wow.
Right. Well, he was in cahoots with the receptionist lady who hated her.
Oh,
They were
right,
kind of
right.
they were kind of a team. And also, I just thought of this. So Sue Ellen and Brian get together for the summer. Well, at what point does Sue Ellen have to be introduced to the sister? Because the angry receptionist is Brian's sister. So at some point they got to go to dinner and the sister's going to be there, right? There's no way this relationship can last.
Yeah, but maybe also, so you just kind of have to infer a lot of stuff. Maybe like she's kind of remorseful that she was like so vindictive, and like maybe she ends up getting the job because she leaves. Maybe like I don't know.
Now,
Maybe
Rose
an olive
hated
branch
her.
I know, but maybe like there's a silver lining at the end of the, you know,
I
maybe
don't
she
know.
gets the job after all.
I see a lot of awkward Dodger games. Remember they're going to go to the Dodger game?
I don't like baseball.
Right.
You can't just go for the food, for the atmosphere. I don't like baseball, bitch.
Couple more points. This is a secret good food movie. Did you notice how much good looking food is in this movie? They're getting Chinese takeout. Kenny becomes a good chef. Even Clown Dog, those hot dogs look good. The chili looked good to me. I wasn't grossed out at all. So secret good food movie. I think there's 17 songs in this movie. There's a lot of music in this movie. Back to the notion that this is a very formulaic movie as well. And then lastly, fashion movie. This is a pretty cool fashion movie. Like, I wrote this down. What was your favorite Sue Ellen outfit? Because we got a lot in this movie. We got the beginning where she has the green boots. Was good. We have the party where she's in like the super elegant black dress. I mean, it's going to be hard to beat that. But I mean, for me, I wrote down that date where they have at the toy store where she has the green pants and the black top. I thought she looked good in that too.
I liked her first outfit just because it was so chaotic. It didn't gel with each other. Like none
The
of
green
the
boots
accessories.
one?
The boots didn't complement the dress, and I like when someone is just like fuck everyone, like fuck it. You know
The
what I
cool
mean?
sunglasses, smoking.
The sun smoking, just like fuck it. This is what I am.
A lot of good outfits in the movie. And like some of them aren't even like good looking outfits and she pulls it off.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, it's time for the awards. Our first award is favorite scene of the movie. I have 3 nominees. I have the husband and wife dynamic where Sue Ellen and Kenny are fighting in the kitchen. And Kenny's pissed off, and Sue Ellen says, I appreciate you. And Kenny says, eat shit. They're having a great husband and wife fight. Walter breaks his leg. And of course, the final party. And I loop in Walter breaks his leg right into where they pick him up at the hospital because that's where Kenny starts to turn, becomes the adult, becomes the man of the house.
Yeah.
What are your favorite scene nominations?
But I'll get to mine. But it's also that scene is so weird, like where Kenny's like having that blow up in the kitchen. Because like the gender roles are reversed and he's essentially like the wife.
Right,
And
yeah,
it's
he's
like,
a stay-at-home wife. She's the working mom.
It's just
He's
that's a
burning
weird
quiches.
scene.
Yeah, he's like, well, if you're going to be late, you should have called.
Yeah, it's just like, come on, man. You're killing me. Where did I have this,
Again,
my
so
favorite scene?
formulaic. At some point, they have to be the adults. And yet that scene is funny. Like, those two are good together. Those two actors, Christina Applegate and the guy who played Kenny, are pretty funny together. They hate each other, and then they become the husband and wife of the house. Kenny cuts his hair and becomes a chef.
Yeah, he's so funny. Like he's probably like the funniest part of that movie.
Yeah.
Keith Coogan.
Yeah, he is really funny. The little like after everything he says type of thing is funny. His clothing is funny. He's smoking weed and eating waffles.
Gourmet munchies, man. When he starts making his own shit.
He's on the balcony with his burnout friends, and he's like, guys, we keep this up, we ain't never getting out of school. And then they all start laughing, and he takes a piss off a balcony.
Oh yeah, where are they even? They're like in the
I don't know.
like, a
That'd be another
hotel or
good
something.
question.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What did
where
they
in
say?
LA
Like,
are
let's
they?
go down. They look like they're on top of like a Top Golf or something.
Could be. Maybe they're on Mulholland or something, taking peas. Also, if you're Kenny's friends, there's no way those friends aren't constantly bugging Kenny to like get with his sister, right?
Yeah.
Like they can't be like, Kenny, let's go hang out at your house. Like, hook me up with your sister. There's no way, right? She's too hot.
Yeah, and then that's I kind of like that trope too, like where like the brother and the sister are like part of like 2 different factions of like the high school body. So like
Right.
she's like the pretty girl. What would that be? Like the preppy pretty girls, and then the
Almost
outsiders.
almost like the Cher character in Clueless, just kind of friends with everybody, most popular girl. We could have used a scene where like we get the last day of school, and we get to see each of them in their element, interacting with friends and stuff, and then talking about their summer, how great their summer's going to be.
Also, like in the beginning of that movie, like I don't know if you picked up, like those cars are crammed and like so many like unsafe practice. Like the car with the girls, there was like 6 girls in the back seat, and like 3 of them were just sitting like on top of like the headrest.
Right. I think that was an 80s into 90s movie thing where you just put someone in a convertible, and somehow it looked like there was theater seating in the convertible somehow. And like, we're going to the beach. Fuck it.
Yeah, it's like you can't
stuff ourselves in there.
Like drive safely, ladies.
Yeah.
Drive very slow and drive safely.
This is 1991. We didn't care. We just had to get to the beach.
So my favorite scene was one of the babysitter scenes where she's just kind of like scoping out the house, like checking out everyone's room.
Ah, yeah.
And then she goes into Kenny's room. I want to introduce the theory that the abomination of a room that Kenny had is what led to her death. Because I don't know if you remember, like she was so taken aback by the obscenities in that room.
Yeah, it's the only thing that really intimidates her. Everything else.
Yeah.
she's ruling with an iron fist, and even Kenny didn't even have to deal with her at all. Like Kenny comes home and she's already dead.
Yeah. If you're gonna include a clip, include that clip of the babysitter, because that looks like that's what takes her out, I think.
Okay, yeah, I'll have my staff put it in there. We'll roll that clip. Yeah,
So
that's a good
mine.
theory. That's a good theory. Like, did Kenny's room actually kill the babysitter? Did that give her a heart attack or something?
Yeah.
And that put her out. Oh, I like this theory.
Hell on earth.
He had the poster. He had the naked chick on there.
Titties.
He had the big weed, the weed plant. Ahead of his time, Kenny with the weed plant on there. Yeah, I would have liked to see what else was up with Kenny's room. So that's your favorite scene. Oh, wild card.
That was hilarious.
I went with the final party. I like the Sue Ellen dress.
Yeah.
I like the house fixed up. I like the entrees with the little hors d'oeuvres. The fashion show. She rallies, gets her friends to be the models.
Good evening, Mrs. Crandall.
Kenny, you look great.
Oh, that's Kenneth. Your guests have already started to arrive. All right, everyone, man your trays. Get going there. Good tray. Good tray. All right. Go get him, big man. Better get your ass out there, Mrs. Crandall.
Yeah.
I like the final
Yeah,
party.
yeah.
It works. Works for me.
Yeah, she put together, I mean, a hell of a presentation for those
Yeah.
financiers.
Back to it, like every teenager's dream to like pull off the ultimate party. And this one, not only do you have to have an awesome party, like you have to trick everybody into thinking that you are this professional, and you rally all your friends, you get food, you have the fashion show, and you pull it off. She would have pulled it off if it wasn't for the mom.
And for the boyfriend, yeah, and then the boyfriend.
Oh, the
showed up
boyfriend
with the little
too, Brian.
PA.
What was Brian's plan with that? To just talk on the loudspeaker how he felt? That was bad.
What a piece of shit, too.
Brian
yeah,
had some odd moves in this movie. I thought he, was a little immature in his dating style.
You got a boyfriend or what? You keeping him from me? Like, dude. Fuck. Oh, but I was gonna say, I will do you one better. I don't think if it wasn't for him, I don't think her mom would have like stopped the party. I think she would have been like, "What the fuck is this?" And then like kind of done like discreetly, like confronted her. But Brian fucking riding in on a fucking white horse with his PA system, fucking. I would never like. If I were her, like I wouldn't have dated him after that. You kidding me? Ruined my life.
Yeah, why wasn't she pissed at him? Like that was
Ruined
a weird.
my life.
That was like a weird, almost John Cusack say anything, hold the boombox over your head strategy. That was odd. That was odd by Brian. Get out of here. Go study marine
Get out of
biology.
my life.
Go take your clown dogs and go study biology.
Pussy.
Next award, the WTF moment. This is a very confusing award to a lot of people. They don't know exactly what it is. So this one was pretty easy for me. My WTF
I think we have the same one. I'm
Oh.
getting the vibe that we have the same one.
All right.
And I have it written down, so just in case you think I'm yanking your chain, go ahead.
Okay. Should we try and say it at the same time?
Okay.
Okay.
lunch.
I'm gonna count to 3. Oh, what? Did you already say it?
Yeah, I didn't. I said the lunch. Is it the lunch?
No, mine is not the lunch.
Okay.
No. All right, go ahead. Tell me about your WTF moment. The lunch. I don't even know what the lunch is. What are you talking about?
The lunch with
Gus,
with
right?
Gus
right.
and fucking Applegate, where he's like courting her.
Could
Man,
not be
Gus.
more creepy, cheesy. You like the symphony?
Oh, Gus. Oh boy.
She can't order the drink right. That's another good movie trope is the non-drinker trying to order a drink.
Yeah. I mean, if you're a server at that point, it doesn't even matter like if the other patron's been there millions of times. You have to card that person, right? You have to
Yeah.
card them.
I don't know. Maybe you let it slide because it's a high-end restaurant or something. But
Jeez.
also like the waiter said she orders a Cosmo or something, and the waiter said
Martini.
martini, and the waiter says sweet or dry or something,
A little bit of both.
and she's confused. I'm like, just pick one.
Yeah. Sweet. Easy.
Yeah, just say sweet. Yeah, like don't say that was. I think that could have been avoided. They could have found her out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is an odd scene where Gus is weirdly hitting on her. She's like, "What's the deal with you and Rose?"
Yeah. But the weird thing for me, why I have it as what the fuck is like, and he does it like he did it throughout the movie, is that he would make these like really blatant passes at her, and then clearly she'd be like put off by them, and then he'd be like, I mean, of course I'm kidding, unless you want to do it, but
Right.
otherwise I'm kidding.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you're not kidding. Like that's your fail safe, bro.
How many interns or post reception do you think he'd put that move on? And how often
All
do
of
you think
them.
he was successful? Like 1 out of 10, 2 out of 10? Because Gus wasn't that appealing of a dude. He wasn't good looking.
No,
We don't know
he's
what
very
he did at
scary.
the company. He was just too forward.
Definitely has beheaded a couple of prostitutes in his day.
They should have switched the Duchovny with Gus, like put them in the different roles. That would have been a little bit more believable.
Yeah, because Gus was really quirky too, so he would have worked in that sort of like Weasley role where he's trying to fucking undermine Sue Ellen.
Yeah, they could have been the two bumbling idiots looking for evidence
He would have
of stuff.
Yeah, but yeah, if it was Duchovny, like yeah, for sure that it would have been more believable.
Mm-hmm. They didn't say what restaurant they went to. I was wondering which, like, if it was a swanky LA restaurant or what. Like, they could have put that in there if they went to the Ivy or something.
Yeah. No.
All right, here's my WTF moment. This one on the rewatch kind of gave me pause. When Sue Ellen discovers that Mrs. Steerick is dead, and the dead body just falls out of the chair onto the floor, and it's like, oh, I was like, holy shit, there's a dead body falls out of the chair. I was like, I forgot about that part.
Sterak? Will? Oh my god.
Little dark.
Yeah.
The first 7 minutes of this movie, you think it might be a different movie. Like, you think it's going to be a movie about them trying to get rid of this body.
Yeah.
Essentially.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
No, but they're done in 2 seconds. But yeah, when she falls on the floor and it's a shot of her dead body laying on the ground, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
She's really
I would have gone like I would have been like way more graphic. I would have had like fucking like bluing of like the skin, made it like really traumatic for those kids.
Yeah, like show them picking up the body and trying to put it in the trunk. Like they just show it wrapped in something. Like show it like actually the arms out flailing, and that would have been they could have went dark.
I know.
With it there. Give this movie one award. Now, this movie's not going to win an Oscar. This is too early for the MTV Movie Awards, Nickelodeon Awards, Blockbuster Awards. But what this movie could win, maybe you remember this in a Blockbuster video. There would be sections of the video store that would say staff picks. And that was a spot where employees of the Blockbuster could put their favorite movies in there and you could see what they liked. So I give this the staff pick award.
Oh, okay.
Blockbuster, where you're like, oh, let's see what the employees like. This would definitely be in there. Staff pick award for me.
So I actually gave it an Oscar.
Really? Oh my God.
I'm just kidding.
No, I was gonna say I didn't think you liked it that much.
So initially I wrote just nothing. Like I was like just like I can't give it anything. But I gave it an MTV award, and I didn't know that the MTV awards weren't a thing at the time. So just
Yeah, when
forgive
did
me.
MTV really pop off? Maybe a year later, so it could have been grandfathered in or something. Like it could have been best newcomer, could have been an
Mhm.
award. Like you'd have to make up something. But
Yeah, I
MTV
gave
was
it best
perfect for that.
villain,
Best villain, Gus?
the receptionist.
Oh, the reception. Best bitch. That would be a good MTV movie
Best
award.
bitch.
Best bitch.
Best brutal bitch.
Brutal bitch.
Vindictive bitch.
They definitely should have had that award. I like that one.
Yeah. Carolyn.
Next award. This is the line reading award. So I have 4 potential. I think we know that this is a 2-horse race, but I have 4 potential lines. I'm going to give them to you. Sue Ellen, have you ever heard of a 48-hour orgasm? I'm in a meeting. Have Bob Barker help you. But the two
Yeah.
best, the two best are, I'm right on top of that rose, and the dishes are done, man.
Yeah.
I go with the dishes. I gotta say, I know the top one is I'm right on top of that, but my parents have a dishwasher, never let us use the dishwasher. Always made us wash dishes by hand.
Good.
And it'd be me, my brother, and our other friend. And when we finished the dishes, you better believe that friend always said, the dishes are done, man.
Dishes are done, man. Cleans them down to the shop.
Oh no,
For
really?
probably 8 to 10 years, our friend Diamante always said, the dishes are done, man. So that's my favorite quote.
That I actually rewinded one of the scenes, and it's one of your lines because I was laughing because Kenny's like coughing as he's saying it. He's like, I'm in a meeting. He's just like ripped a bong.
huge
Meeting.
pothead, that Kenny.
Meeting of the minds. So I have a really long quote.
Okay, I'm ready. Go for it.
Okay, so it's Applegate and Kenny. You couldn't even do the lawn today. You're worthless. I am doing everything and I am trying to get ready for a date. When are you going to start helping me, you lazy little punk? And then she leaves her room. She slams his door. And then Kenny goes,
I like that line.
Oh, and then hold on. And then so she leaves and Kenny closes the door and he's like, PMS City, man.
You couldn't even mow the lawn today. You're worthless. I am doing everything, and I'm trying to get ready for a date. When are you going to start helping me, you lazy little punk?
PMS City, man.
I should have included in the best looks when she comes out in the towel. Like, too hot.
Yeah.
Like, you just bust into your friend's room with a bunch of dudes in a towel. Like, that would be, you would talk about that for weeks. If that
Yeah,
really
I have to rush
happened.
home.
Yeah. I do like that line when she's kind of dressing down Kenny. Like, he's just such a worthless bum. And it
You're
hits him.
worthless.
It hits him for a second. She's like, you're a worthless, lazy punk. And like, it hits him for a second and she slams the door. He's like, PMS City, man. They all crack up.
PMS City.
I like that one. Good line choice. Excellent. Excellent
Why,
reading.
thank you.
Too. Excellent reading too, by the way. You really put me there.
Thank you.
Next award, Best Role Player. I got 3 nominees. I got Kathy, Elvis the dog, and David Duchovny. And my winner by far is Kathy with the QED reports. This movie falls apart if it's not for Kathy. Kathy comes off the bench and hits 3 threes in a row, goes back to the bench, even brings a Jello mold or something to the party. Kathy
Yeah.
is just ride or die with Sue
Yeah.
Ellen. She's like, whatever you need, let me help you out. Let me fax this for you. Let me make a Jello mold. Kathy is the best role player by far to me.
I'm not even lying. Same ones. I don't know if you can see.
Same 3.
No, same
Kathy,
2 right here.
Elvis,
Corgi
Duchovny?
and Kathy.
Mm-hmm.
Corgi and Kathy. So Elvis is a corgi.
Kathy wins this far and away. Like, Duchovny's fun. The dog is fun. Fun name. But Kathy, gotta have her. Kathy.
Oh, Kathy.
Even when she's like, "Oh, sorry, are you a temp?" No, I'm the new executive assistant. She's like, "Oh, congratulations, I applied, but I guess I wasn't good enough." And then she just instantly helps her. It's the nicest person ever to work with.
Yep. Yeah, if it wasn't for those QED reports, her ass would have been grassed like in a day.
Mm-hmm.
Even with the computer, like if you need help, if you need help with computer stuff, with the reports, I mean, it was the job was essentially Kathy's.
That's the sequel. Is now Kathy is like right under Rose, or she's the same role as Rose, and they're taking this company to the next level.
Yeah,
that's the sequel of this movie. So we need Kathy back.
Yeah, Sue Ellen's like the visionary, she's
like a consultant,
creative director.
Yeah, something like that. She's like the Wonder Kid, but they're the brains behind it all. Yeah, we should have got a sequel. Back to like, why wasn't Christina Applegate in more stuff? Like, wasn't she in a drama? Like, wouldn't you have loved to see her in a drama?
She should have been.
Who should she have been?
Never mind.
Who could she have been in that from 91 to 95? What were the big movies then? God, I'm going to have to look these up and see. But could she have been Julia Roberts in The Pelican Brief? Okay, maybe not that. But she could have been something else. God, I'm going to have to think. Could she have gone the Sharon Stone route and be like the sexy ingenue type?
No, but she doesn't look that corrupt. Like Sharon Stone has like that corrupt look.
Mm-hmm. She has that menacing
like that really look. Yeah, like that dirty, like her dirty soul. That's why she's such a perfect whore in Casino.
Yeah, Casino, Basic Instinct. Assassins. You ever see Assassins? Pretty good movie.
With
Stallone and Banderas, yeah.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite. That's one of my favorite blockbuster. Oh, Bobby, because Stallone's name is Bobby.
One of the best uses of a cast that turns into a gun. Isn't that movie where Stallone has a cast on, pulls off a cap, and it's a gun?
Yeah. So my dad's name is Robert, and a lot of people call him Bobby in the family. And there's a quote in the movie that I always use on him. Banderas goes to Sylvester Stallone. No more chit-chat, Bobby. No more chit-chat.
So what you're saying is we need to extend Did You Ever See for one more movie and do Assassins?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I've seen that movie like a good 20 times.
A lot to talk about Stallone and his cast gun.
I'm gonna let you take me down.
Isn't that the one where he does the movie thing where he pulls the gas line out of the kitchen and he just shoots it or something and then everything blows up and he gets away? Like classic, let me just pull a gas line and then anything will blow this apartment up.
Yeah. She, you know what? Who she could have been? She could have been Nicole Kidman in Batman Forever. I can see her being like that sort of vixen.
Yeah, if it wasn't for Nicole Kidman being married to Tom Cruise, could she have been the Nicole Kidman in like Far and Away or something?
Yeah. I see her like as a Nicole Kidman type.
Yeah, Nicole Kidman's a good one.
Albeit like she's far younger than her, but still like that sort of appeal.
I'm with you. I'm with you on the Nicole Kidman
energy.
Mm-hmm. All right, it's time for plot holes. And we're only going to spend 37 minutes on this. Okay, plot hole number 1, we already talked about it. The mom is 37? Question mark. 5 children? Question mark. Then I got this one.
Yeah. It's called being a whore, Patrick.
I guess so. Well, she was married. And what happened to the dad? I don't know. Wouldn't Brian had figured out this whole scheme when he's on the couch with his sister in the lobby? And the sister goes, "Is there a problem, Sue Ellen?" She says Sue Ellen. Doesn't Brian know that the girl's name's Sue Ellen?
Oh, wow. I thought she, you know what? I'm the dumbass. I thought she had a different name at that firm.
I don't think so. I think she went by Sue.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Yeah. What a dumbass. Hey, Brian, newsflash, you're a dumbass.
Yeah, because like she was like, is there anything wrong, Sue Ellen? And then Brian would be like, how do you know her name? and then like he would have turned his head, but she would be gone. Like that would have been almost been like the part of the movie where like she almost gets found out like 10 times, but
Yeah.
he doesn't react to it in the scene at all. So I got that as a plot hole. Other plot hole, the students protested because of they don't want to wear uniforms. I've never heard of such a thing. I never heard
Yeah,
of
I know,
students
right?
taking it to the streets and burning down buildings because they don't want to wear uniforms.
Oh, and
Um,
then like by the way, like students can't do that. Like if anything, like the parents are gonna revolt. Like what the students like, dude, you have to go to school. It's the law.
right. Yeah. Rose says they burned a uniform in effigy. I'm like, what world is this? Number one, where is this school? Where is this happening?
Yeah.
Is this on the news? Plot hole there. And then, okay, here was a plot hole. There's no way they're fixing up that house in that short amount of time. There's no way. There's no that yard is full of dirt. The pool
Yeah.
is empty. There's no way they can put 1,000 gallons of water in that pool and
Yeah.
have it crystal blue. There's no way. So I got that.
Yeah.
I mean,
The
like
grass was like balding. Like, how are you gonna regrow grass like by the weekend?
where are they parking those cars? If that house truly was in Highland Park, like there's no place to park.
Park.
There's no way. And then lastly, I mean, this is a minor plot hole, but like the mom comes home a week early from the trip. There's no way she's coming home a week early. She can't wait to get rid of these kids. And she comes home a week early from Australia. And then
That's a
spoils the
move
party.
though. That's a move with
By the mom?
untrusting parents that have kids that are house sitting. They always come early because they want to catch you red-handed. In
But
this
she-
case, they caught it. She caught them like with a pristine in the house in pristine condition. I mean, it's wasn't really
Yeah.
like she didn't catch them, you know, fucking throwing a kegger, but still, like I hear that all the time. Oh, my parents came back a few days early. Like, thank God, you know. So that I give them a pass for.
You know what other scene we needed in this movie? The first couple days when the babysitter's dead and they get rid of her, we needed a scene where they throw the party at the house, where they kind of like, oh, we're free, and Sue Ellen has a party, Kenny's friends. Like, we needed that scene, and then they have to get real after that. Like, oh, we have no money or something. Like, we needed to see them like go nuts in that house, and then they got to get real. I could have used a party.
Yeah, that they missed an opportunity there. I like it, or I shouldn't say I like it. I'm not condoning it in any way, but it's always funny like when there's like adult activities, I should say, like drinking, you know, drug use, and then like how the kids are, how they behave around that sort of, you know, that adult shit. Like, are they weirded out? Are
That would've
they
been
like,
funny.
you guys are losers? Yeah.
The one,
that's
the
always
one
funny.
horn dog kid, Zach, could have been hitting on like the high school girls, like trying to throw a game at him. That would have
I
been
know,
funny.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that kid. When did that kid lose his virginity? I mean, let's cut to the chase here. It looks like he was about to
15?
lose it in the car.
Yeah, he almost lost it in the car in the first scene. Putting moves on that one chick in the backseat of a
Yeah.
car. Yeah,
Holy shit, that kid's
he
a
was probably a
Casanova.
16. I would say he's a young guy. Gets it at 16.
No way. I say like 13, 14.
Wow,
that kid right there.
13. Well, maybe you're right.
Yeah,
Zach was
Oh,
a
yeah.
horny kid.
that kid was dropping loads, man.
Zach,
He got her a ring. Oh man, there's
buying
no way you're
chicks
not dropping
rings.
a load.
He's getting dumped, and then in the kitchen, 2 seconds later, he's helping out some new chick. Like, the guy moves
Yeah.
fast. He's moving very fast, Zach.
Yeah, that kid's God bless him.
What are your plot holes?
So, of course, I could go over like the lack of police investigation with the babysitter,
Oh, I should have said that. Yeah, police.
but I feel like that's a little too easy. So I went with, so fucking Sue Ellen just rolls up to this like firm or whatever, like beauty, like what is it, like a clothes manufacturing. So she shows up. She's applying for the receptionist job, and then just by mere coincidence the fucking CEO or CFO or whatever just happens to be there at the desk and happens to read your whole resume like in a matter of like 20 seconds and just happens to not even vet you and just hires you on the spot. And then here's another plot hole to piggyback off of that one.
She saw she went to Vassar.
So you're gonna get paid, right? So you need to get paid. I believe they need like your banking information or at least like your social security. When they pull up your social, they're not gonna be like, "Hey, this kid's 17."
Yeah, wouldn't HR or personnel would have seen
right?
her date of birth when she put the social security number in there?
Oh, unless you have like a fake social, like there's something there.
Maybe it slipped through the cracks. Like all the departments are so separated that they didn't put two and two together that like, oh, a 17-year-old is executive assistant to the maybe it slipped through. But yeah, you're right. They would find out her age. Someone would know her age if she had to put her banking info.
Yeah. And then like that's found out by fucking Rose. She's always failing upward too. It's like, well, she's the genius. Like she's always like giving like the benefit of the doubt when all these incriminating facts are brought to her attention. She's like, well, you know what? You're just a rat. You know what? Stop trying to sabotage her. She's always like mad at the receptionist too for trying to fucking throw her under the bus. It's like, you're so low. You belong at the desk.
Yeah, it was like, there's no way. Even Duchovny kind of says it at one point. And she's like, oh, look at all these receipts or something. She's like, doesn't matter. Rose loves her. You need something digging. And then I think they find out she's 17 at that point. Yeah. Or it's like, oh, she's got Kathy doing the QED reports. And he's like, so? She doesn't care.
Yeah.
Rose loves her. Duchovny knew. Duchovny knew this was going to be an uphill battle.
Yeah. He was a rat, but he was a brilliant rat.
He wanted to believe. This was early Agent Mulder. He wanted to believe.
Touche.
Any other plot holes?
No, just those two. Yeah, the lack of investigation with the dead body and the fraudulent hiring.
How about Walter in the hospital? Like, don't they need insurance information? Or she had insurance through the job?
Yeah, I guess so, huh? Yeah,
I guess so. But then she would have to list that Walter was her dependent. I don't know. I'm gonna let that slide.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Yeah, like you need like that kid. I don't think Kenny's that put together that you'd be like, oh, I gotta grab his Walter's his Blue Cross Blue Shield card before we go. Like, I don't think he's remembering to bring that with him, and I know that the kid isn't bringing it with him either. Like, yeah, that's a plot hole for sure.
Little plot hole there with the insurance. They would have found her out at that point too with the insurance, even though she technically had insurance through the company.
Yeah.
All right. Good plot holes. Next category. The sports comparison. Compare this movie to a sporting event, team, happening, anything. I went with this one. I'm comparing this movie to the Rex Ryan era Jets. Fun. Don't think about it too much. Just go with it.
Yeah.
Go for the ride. All right, we're not going to win any Super Bowls, but that's not the point of this team. The point of this team is to have fun, get some quotes, go on Hard Knocks, maybe make the AFC Championship, but that's it. Rex Ryan Jets are my sports comparison to Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that was a fun era for the Jets. Like they were something to watch every Sunday. Rex Ryan, Darrelle Revis, even Mark Sanchez.
Yeah. Well, they went to the conference championship game like the first 2 years.
Yeah, they beat the Patriots in New England once.
Who did they even lose to? I don't even know.
Yeah, maybe Pittsburgh. Was that Pittsburgh?
Yeah, probably.
Maybe Colts?
No, not the Colts.
I want to say Pittsburgh then.
Or maybe the Colts, because remember the Colts went to that second Super Bowl where they got beat by the Saints. Maybe one of those years.
It could have been. That makes sense. That's the era. Yeah.
Well, I have a really obscure, so I'll give you two because they're actually both kind of obscure, but I mean, not obscure for you. So I have the Jay Cutler years with the Broncos. I always use the Broncos. I'm lazy. So do you remember the Jay? It was Jay Cutler's last year where he was like fucking on fire. They had like a top 5 offense in the whole league, but their defense was like I think the worst in the league. So it was just kind of like they're kind of like running in circles. My analogy is like it's like the car that's like trying to fucking like put pedal to the metal, but they're like on ice and there's like and standstill. So we got Applegate. We got like a good premise, and I thought that like if they use like the dead babysitter motif a little bit more, I thought it would have been a little more playful. But like they've used it like as a launching point, and they just kind of forgot about it. So for that, I give them an F.
The Jay Cutler Broncos. That's your comp.
So yeah, a good structure, like a good promising premise that goes that falls flat on its face.
Oh, really? Okay. So in your comparison, Christina Applegate is Jay Cutler of the Broncos?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Gotcha. Who would Gus be on the Broncos?
Gus would be Kyle Shanahan.
Oh, poor Kyle Shanahan.
Oh, Mike Shanahan. I'm sorry.
Oh, Mike Shanahan. That's right.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like it.
Trying to fuck all the interns.
I like it when you, in a sideways way, shit on your own Broncos. So I like it.
I'm the biggest self-loathing Bronco fan in probably the entire planet.
Side note, are you excited, indifferent, or disappointed that the New York Jets, Aaron Rodgers, is the Hard Knocks team for this year?
I'm excited because I want to see him talk a bunch of shit about Zach Wilson. I want to see those quarterback
That's what I want to see
meetings.
too. I hope he doesn't I hope he doesn't not give us anything. I hope he comes out guns blazing.
Yeah. I hope he's just harassing him the entire time, emotionally, verbally, psychologically.
Yeah.
He deserves it.
I want to
He
see
deserves
it.
it.
Last category. We're going to wrap it up on this one. Blockbuster pairing. You've just watched this movie. What's the best movie to pair this with? I got 3 nominees. Here's a way this movie could have went. Weekend at Bernie's. Where we got we got the dead body doing stuff. We got to prop up the body in the window like this.
That's the movie I was referring to at the beginning. Weekend
at Bernie's. Yeah. They made 3 of those. Why can't we make more of these? Weekend at Bernie's, 13 going on 30. Or this one's my pick. The Devil Wears Prada.
That's one of mine.
Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead walk so the Devil Wears Prada could run?
You know what? I had a really strong feeling that you're going to pick one of my 2, so that's why I came up with 2.
Oh, okay. So you had Weekend at Bernie's.
No. So I had Devil Wears Prada, and my other one was Catch Me If You Can.
Oh, why Catch Me If You Can? That's weird.
Because she's fraudulent in her application, so she's doesn't even know what the fuck she's doing. You know what I'm saying? So she's kind of like a con in that respect, and that's what Leo played. I mean, he cons.
Right.
He's a doctor. He's a lawyer. He's bullshitting his way all throughout. Okay. So that sort of con aspect. That's why.
I got you. Took the con artist aspect of it. Yeah. I don't get that she's a con artist in this one. I like the Devil's Wear Prada.
Well, she doesn't know that she is.
She didn't know that she is. So maybe the sequel, now Christina Applegate Sue Ellen is in the Rose role, and she's got to hire the young person. So maybe we flip it. We flip the age thing as well. The Devil Wears Prada is almost the same movie because Anne Hathaway falls ass backwards into the executive assistant. She doesn't like fashion. She's got this. Yeah, she's got the friends. Very similar. Very, very fashion oriented.
And then in the sequel, we could have Tom Hanks also trying to apprehend Christina Applegate, and he'd be like, "If you step out that door, they're gonna shoot you." If you step out that door, they're gonna shoot you.
It's Kenny with the shotgun shooting dishes.
That was I felt that scene could have been funnier if he actually had like a 12 gauge. He had like a little fucking like a pea shooter.
I thought he had a shotgun, Kenny.
No, he had like a BB gun.
Well, Kenny was smoking a lot of weed, man. You know, he was enjoying his summer. He was never getting out of school.
No. Good for him.
He was living life. He had a whole summer and he was going to go on a date with that Nicole girl.
Oh yeah, that made me feel good. I was like, good for you, Kenny. Turn it around, baby.
Got his hair
It's
cut.
not too late to turn it. I know, yeah.
Cooking food. Oh, Kenny's going to have a great senior year.
Yeah, he's got a way brighter future than fucking Brian, that's for sure. As a marine biologist or whatever the fuck he's going to study.
Brian's going to go stare at the ocean and yell on his loudspeaker. The clown dog.
Exactly.
Clown dog car. Yeah.
That's not too far. It's not going to be a big leap to take that Brian's going to be the stoner in a couple of years after the events of this movie.
Kenny becomes his dealer.
Yeah. Hey, aren't you that guy that dated my sister?
He sees him at a party. He's like, aren't you the dude that dated my sister? Dude, you still work at Clown Dog, dude? Hook it up, dude.
Poor guy.
We get some of those chili dogs. Those were good. Hell
Don't
yeah.
you think this movie should have had like at the end of Fast Times at Richmond High, you know how they at the end of the movie it kind of told you like where they ended up like later in life?
Oh,
Don't
I
you
could have
think this
done with
movie
that.
should have had that?
Yeah, Sue Ellen went to college, majored in fashion. Kenny, blah, blah, blah. The mom. Oh, and then they could have done the comedic thing where they show the babysitter, Mrs. Steerick, still dead.
Oh, no.
Could have done that.
Yeah. Missed
Freeze
opportunity there.
Yeah.
Still dead.
Well, we did it. We were on top of it, Adrian, and we definitely did not tell mom the babysitter was dead.
What happened to the babysitter, Patrick?
I don't know. She's out at the yarn store. She's crocheting this gnarly quilt for the couch. Thanks, Adrian.
Thank you, Patrick.